Hi, it's mean old Granny. For goodness sakes, by mean old Granny. I should be in bed, and I will be soon, I think. But I just thought I'd make a video. Don't know that I'll put it out there, but I heard this last week about an old friend that I haven't seen for a long time. He's making some poor choices. Good grief. At our age, why are you doing this? Listen, even though I haven't seen you for a long time, I do still care about you. I knew you back when we were in college, and for quite a while after that, and then you moved far away. But what the heck are you doing? You know, you have choices in life. There are those choices that people make that impair their mind, damage their body, destroy their spirit, mind impairing, body damaging, spirit destroying choices. Smoking pot is one of them. Drinking excessively is another one. Gambling, infidelity. I mean, don't make those choices. We all make some poor choices, for sure. But gosh, please stop doing what you're doing to yourself. When I was working on my dissertation, it was on alcohol abuse prevention at a local university here in South Dakota. And so much of what we do to prevent drug abuse or alcohol abuse, and by the way, I don't like calling it alcohol abuse or um, drug abuse. You're not abusing the drug. You're using the drug or the substance to abuse yourself. You think it's helping you, relieving stress, having fun, or whatever, but the truth is, it's not. It's harming you. And as good as it might feel while you're doing it or using it, as you quit doing it and using it, which is much better for you, you're going to have the exact opposite reaction. So whatever it does that you think makes you feel better, actually, as you come off the substance or get away from the behavior, you're going to have the exact opposite reaction. So it's going to make it even harder if you're using it a lot. So quit. Never start is even better. Um, anyway, I was working on my doctorate degree, and I had this opportunity to go to work at a college, at a university, and I had intended to do it on home and family and human relations, all my passion. But this opportunity came up, and it allowed me to do research into these substances, in this case, mainly alcohol, that does so much damage to college students, get into heavy drinking, and I guess apparently now drug use a lot too. Wasn't around that much when I was in college, but apparently it is now. So anyway, this is a message for young people too. Don't ever start on this junk. It will mess your life up. No, not everybody, but a high enough percentage of people that start using drugs and alcohol in college go on to develop some really long-term problems. So be careful. Be very careful about your choices. And don't for a minute believe that those choices are relieving your stress and making you feel good, because in the long run, they're not. So what I'm suggesting is that you do what I call mind enhancing, mind improving, body building, and spirit enhancing behaviors. And mainly it's behaviors. I guess there's substances and things you can do like sleeping and getting enough sleep and eating right. But mainly it's those choices in what you do with your life and your time. Those choices are what's important. And now research is showing us that what you do creates your brain. It's what makes your brain function in the way that it will function. Like if you want to start learning to play the piano, the more you play the piano, pathways get built in your brain so that it's easy for you to play the piano. It becomes easier and easier, and the more you practice. And it isn't just the practicing, it's actually changing your brain so that it works better when it comes to playing the piano. And the opposite is true. If you're doing things that are dulling your brain and repetitive things over and over again that are harmful to your brain, it's actually creating unhealthy pathways, and in the process, not building the healthy ones. Anyway, brain research is fascinating. So anyway, back to when I was working on my dissertation at this university. Half or most of what I was finding when I'd go to conferences on drug and alcohol abuse prevention was things like telling kids don't have more than this many drinks, or don't drink this many times during the week, or all about limiting the substance use, when in reality, what you want to be teaching people is giving them the skills and values and habits that actually improve their mind, build their bodies, and create a healthy self and spirit. So I was at a convention in St. Louis, and I walked into the room, and here was a man named David Anderson, and his prevention of substance abuse was so much like what I've been looking for. And it's what I actually ended up doing my dissertation on. It was 7, I guess, call them life habits, and they are to this day still applicable to really to college students, but to anybody of any age. These are the things that will build your mind, your body, and your spirit in healthy ways. Number 1, optimistic attitude. Look at life, look for the positives in life, and build them up. So, optimism. Number 2, values. Knowing your values and having strong values. What do you value? What's really your good core values? Honesty, kindness, hard work, whatever. Focus on developing healthy values. Third one is self-care. And this is really know how to take care of yourself. Like when if it's late at night, go to bed. But sometimes I don't do that very well. But in the long run, I do take care of myself when it comes to sleep and eating, or try to. Um, so good self-care. Know how to take good care of yourself. Fourth one, relationships. Build loving, respectful relationships. Do unto others as you want them to do unto you. The golden rule. Treat people with kindness and respect. So relationships. And learn good relationship skills, which is my passion in teaching that this second. Okay, number 5, community. We need to feel a part of a community, something that is outside of ourselves, but allows connections for us to put out healthy, using our healthy habits in development to build the communities around us in healthy and positive ways. Gangs in the city become sometimes young people's communities, their connection to others isn't necessarily a healthy one. So it wants to be, but get involved in your community. You don't have to join every organization, but look for ways to get to know your neighbors, develop positive, healthy communities. And one thought that occurred to me in talking about communities, back when I was raising my kids, there were two other mothers, um, Becky and Nancy were their names. And we formed a social group we called just um, that had 9 families in it. We just invited couples that had kids in similar ages to ours. And about once a month, we'd get together and we'd maybe go sled riding, we'd go for hikes. We had the adults do a murder mystery party one time, cookie baking. We just get as many people who wanted to come of the 9 families, and we'd gather and do healthy, fun things that my son said to me at one time. I thought a lot of those kids in those other families were like my cousins because I really got to know them and it formed a healthy community. So look for ways that you can do that. Okay, so we've got optimism, values, self-care, relationships, community. That's 5. Number 6 is nature. Nature is so healing to our minds and spirit, at least it is for me. Like at night, I love to just go look at a starry night, or if there's a moon out, just looking up at the sky is part of nature. Pets. I love that we have, so many of us have our pets. Uh, Walking in the woods, planting things, growing things, any connections to nature is going to be a really healthy thing too. Okay, that was 6. 7. The last one is service. And it's kind of like community, except it's you doing service for others. One of the things that they talked about in my education on, I was again getting my doctorate degree, was on servant leaders. Most great leaders serve as much as they lead, and that is how they lead. They serve other people, they care about the people that they are leading, and they find ways to serve them. So put out service, do something good. And it might be serving your family members, make them a nice meal. And, or it might be reaching out to the elderly, visiting nursing homes, or if you have elderly neighbor like me. No, I don't feel I'm that elderly, although there are people. I am a mean old granny, so maybe I am. But those 7 principles um, that they had put in a book, which the book that I had on it burned up, and I need to see if I can find it again. But focus on those, and that's what I did in for my dissertation. I created opportunities for um, kids to go rock climbing. We baked pies in the dorms, providing other activities that weren't surrounded, that the activity wasn't around alcohol or other drugs. It was about positive connections to each other. Anyway, I don't know. That's what I wanted to get out there tonight. Back to the old friend that I have heard is making some choices that aren't very healthy for you. Please quit doing that. Care about you. A lot of people care about you. You need to care about yourself too. Okay, that's all for mean old granny tonight. Um, Go to bed if it's too late at night, like I'm going to now. Have a good one. Good night.